long-term homeless advice. So the first thing we do is just do a homestead. If you don't know what a homestead is, basically it's undeveloped land. So I'm gonna give you the juicy part first in this video, then as the video goes on, I'm gonna give you some other details so you can find out what's going on with your situation and what actually matches best with your situation, you know what I mean? So jumping straight into it, a homestead is undeveloped land. So I would probably do Arizona or Texas. For $15,000, that could be as little as 3 acres, or it could be as much as 40 acres. It all depends how close the city is and what amenities they might have. They might already have electric there. They might have water there. They might, they might actually have some property there, like RVs or a bunker or a house. But so for $15,000, I'd buy a homestead. I'd probably go for Arizona, not Texas. Texas has humidity. I'd go for the dry heat. That's just how I am. But you can do whatever you want. For $15,000, how I would actually find the homestead, just to let you know, I'd go to Zillow and then I would change on the filters, homestead, land, undeveloped. That's what I would do. So homestead for $15,000. Let's say you didn't have a car at all. So this is all about long-term homeless advice. So if you won't have nothing, but you're trying to make something, right? I'd get a homestead for 15 grand. I'd get $6,000 for a truck, an RV, or something with a camper shell, or it could even be a car. It's not that big of a deal. But my honest opinion, homestead, $15,000, $6,000 for an RV. So an RV that just can get me there. Once it gets me there, that's a shelter. Once it's a shelter, no bugs, no critters, nothing's gonna crawl in there. I'm gonna work on that. Why work on the land? $2,000 for solar panels and like just solar power, right? Then $1,000 for tools. If you don't have any tools already, about $1,000 for that. And then $1,000 for building material, which would include $25,000. So with all that, you get yourself land, you get yourself a shelter, which is a truck or an RV or a car. It gives you solar panel, gives you $1,000 with tools, and then it gives you $1,000 worth of building materials. Long-term homeless advice. If I was homeless, but I actually found a job that was like 15 bucks an hour and it was full time, so it's 40 hours a week, that'd make 600 bucks, right? After 25% taxes, which is basically the going rate, that would leave you with $450 times 4, because there's 4 weeks in a month. So it'd give you about 1,800 bucks. With $1,800, do you think you could actually rent a place? You know, half of the money is going to go into that. Just to let you know, after you make $1,500 a month, you're not getting EBT, you're probably not getting Medi-Cal, you're probably not getting Medi-Cal, you're probably not getting vision, dentist. You're probably not getting any free programs that you would have got if you made less. Especially if you went ahead and said some other stuff like, you got mental disabilities, you got children, you got a wife, you got a drug problem, whatever the case may be. But if you made 15 bucks an hour working 40 hours a week, it'd be 600 bucks. But after taxes, 450, which is $1,800 a month. Half that would go into there, right? Well, what about the other expenses? You got cell phones, you got gas, you got insurance, well, car insurance, you got medical insurance, you got car payment. What if you don't have a car payment? Cool. Car maintenance, food, clothes, hygiene, toiletries, medication, glasses, dentals, dental stuff, and then gyms. So those are just a few of the stuff. You can knock off some of those things and that still would cost way more than actually bring in. So for long-term homeless advice, I would say, why rent a place? Let's say that you were homeless, but then you got Social Security, right? So the average rate is $1,919.40. Doesn't seem too bad, but if you're renting a room, that's between 400 and 600 bucks. There goes a big portion. So are you saying that the best you can do for long-term homeless advice is to get on Social Security, and then from once you get on Social Security, then the best you can do is renting a room until that person is fed up, or they get mad, or something happens and you gotta go, then you gotta find another place and move and just pay all these expenses? Just the expenses for renting a room, your expenses could be a cell phone, could be your car gas, could be car insurance, could be medical insurance, could be car payment, could also be car maintenance, could be food, could be clothes, hygiene, toiletries, medication, glasses, dental, and then also gyms. If you were to buy a house and you had Social Security, or you went ahead and worked like I talked before, so let's say you made 15 bucks an hour and it was 40 hours a week, that's a total of 600, $600 a week. Then on top of that, that's after taxes, about 25% deducted, $450 times 4, because it's 4 weeks in a month, that's $1,800. So whether you are working and getting $1,800 a month, or you're on Social Security making $1,919.40, they're so similar, it's crazy, right? Like, how are you ever going to get ahead in life? This is long-term homeless advice. This is not going to take you to the next level. The next level, in my opinion, would be getting a homestead. The homestead would be about $15,000, but you can't do it in your name. Otherwise, that's an asset against you. Also, if you make more than $1,500 a month, you're not getting EBT, you're not getting Medi-Cal, you're not getting Medicare, you're not getting the free services. And in fact, a lot of food pantries, when they ask to see what you have, they want to see what you have in your bank, they want to see what you have in your income, and things like that. It's getting harder now to get those, those primal things. And those primal things, when you show it, they may not give it to you. Or if they do give it to you, it's very limited. And a lot of the food that you get from a food pantry is not healthy. It's stale donuts. It's stale bread. It's canned goods. It's not protein. It's all like crap. It's processed. It's better than nothing. But however, when you ingest that stuff, it's not gonna make you feel good. Worst case scenario, EBT, public housing. You get Section 8 and you get rehab. Whether you have a drug problem or not, you pretend that you do. So the worst case scenario is you pretend that you are worse off than what you are. That's how it gets down. So the EBT is welfare money. If you're just filing for one person, I think it's anything less than $1,500 will get you around $291 a month for the food, right? If you have kids, it could be more. It's all situational. Then on top of that, you get the Lifeline phone. Get the Lifeline phone, cool. Then you go ahead and say you have a drug problem, but you're trying to kick. I don't have a drug problem. I don't have a drinking problem. I don't even qualify for this stuff. I am better off, this is worst case scenario, I am better off lying to people and saying that I have one just so I can go ahead and get in there. Once I get in there, guess what? It's free food. That's a free shelter over my head. Okay, I gotta do drug classes. I don't do drugs. I just sit there and listen. It's not that big of a deal. On top of that, while I'm doing all that stuff, I get a case manager. When I get a case manager, I go, what I'm really struggling with is X, Y, and Z. Can you help me? Then the lady or the person, the dude, will go ahead and help you. So worst case scenario, lie through your teeth, and then file for Social Security, get EBT, right? Then on top of that, get a Lifeline phone. So when it comes to Social Security and the case manager is most likely somebody who can get stuff done quickly. So when you're talking to him or her, when you're doing that, you're like, hey, I have this problem, I have this problem. So maybe you go to rehab, right? Or, you're in rehab first and you're going through that course. Then on top of that, when you're doing all that stuff, you're like, hey, I could use some help with some physical therapy because my arm's not working, or I'm feeling pain here, I'm feeling pain there. Can you help me with Social Security? I got some mental problems. Can you put me in therapy? You go and do that stuff. I'm somebody who needs therapy, right? I'm better off lying to everybody. And that's why I'm giving this advice. So worst case scenario, straight up, is to lie. Best case scenario is you have a lot of money already, so you're gonna be frugal with everything. With being frugal, you probably have things in other people's names. You're not gonna get taxed on there. You're going for EBT. You're going for Social Security. You're going for your pension. You're going for Medi-Cal or Medicaid. You're going for all that stuff. You're going for Lifeline phone. On top of all that stuff, you can't have everything in your name. If you make too much, if you make over $1,500 a month, you're not getting EBT. I don't know what the Social Security and disability and the widow stuff is. I don't know the threshold is. However, you do all that kind of stuff, and then this is best case scenario. You have a lot of money. You get yourself an RV that's cheap. You buy some land that's cheap. The best way to make sure that you're never homeless is to live way below your means. So if you bought some property that was $15,000 and then you brought yourself a $10,000 fucking RV and you bring it in there, then you got $3,000 or $4,000 for solar. Then you can go ahead and dig your own well. Then on top of that, it's got game hunting, so you can go ahead and hunt for your own food. Then you have EBT because your paper it shows that you get a lot less. So you got that food coming in. Then you go ahead and you're trading with neighbors. That's the way you would do it. that is literally the long-term homeless advice I would give you.